Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good. Tonight we're going to be hanging out for a little while, about an hour and a half. We have a bunch of different topics to discuss, a few that are new from the past day or two, a couple that I have to follow up on. Just a lot of very unfortunate news tonight, but some funny topics. Because when you don't think that things can get worse, suddenly they do. So tonight we're going to be talking about Guilty Gear Strive. This has caused so much controversy on social media over the past 2 days because they have decided to add Bridget to the game. And they have decided to sloppily rewrite Bridget as a woman, even in the Japanese version of the game, even though this character was not a female. This was a male character that just happened to dress like a female. We're going to be talking about Tower of Fantasy. This is a game I didn't really know much on. I had heard of it like a couple of months back. I saw people talking about it on social media, but I didn't really have like some giant interest in it. I didn't know too much about it. But of course, another case of censorship because they have decided to censor anything even remotely sexy in this game, absolutely toning it down to hell and back, which isn't really surprising. Unfortunately, this is a studio that, of course, is part of Tencent. So when I heard about it being censored, I went off. Of course, why am I not surprised? But it is still very disappointing because I want as many games to release as possible without being censored, and we see a lot of censorship happening. But it is a studio that is part of Tencent, so I'm honestly not that surprised. What I am surprised at is how the fuck Ezra Miller is still going, right? We continue to hear news about Ezra Miller, and we always say, ah, shit, another Ezra Miller situation? There is no way that this can get any worse. And I'm not laughing because of the things that he's done. I'm laughing because of how fucking absurd this situation has gotten. You think that it's all over. Okay, this is it. Okay, this is the tip of the iceberg with Ezra Miller. And it's just not. This keeps on going. They can't catch him because he's the Flash. Again, I wish I could say I was surprised. But, oh my Lord have mercy. Ezra Miller is just, I don't know. Ezra Miller is out here playing Grand Theft Auto 6 in real life. I don't understand. So we're going to be talking about Ezra Miller now being charged with felony burglary. Did any of you have that on your Ezra Miller bingo card this year? The only way Ezra Miller, anything is going to happen to Ezra Miller at this point, the only way he's going to get canceled, the only way that Hollywood is going to kick him out of projects and stop working with this individual is literally at this point is if Ezra murders someone. Now, I don't have that on my 2022 Ezra bingo card, but at this point, I think that we should start bingo cards because it just keeps going. We're also going to be talking about the Rings of Power. You guys know the Rings of Power has been a very unfortunate disaster for Amazon, and with every piece of promotional material they release for the show, the worse it gets, the more fans are rejecting this series, and now they've decided to put out a new teaser for the show. Came out, earlier today, and of course people are roasting it as well. And I wanted to just talk about kind of the social media backlash that's been surrounding it. And we're also going to be talking about a brand new horror mystery movie that has come out called They/Them. It released, I want to say yesterday? August 5th. So a couple of days ago. I haven't seen it yet. I am going to watch it tonight. so that I can give you all my full thoughts on it. But it is getting absolutely roasted by everyone on social media. It doesn't really seem like this movie appealed to anyone. It seemed like a film that, you know, they wanted the central theme to be diversity, inclusivity. They wanted to represent specific types of people. Yet in the movie, from what I've read and what we are going to read, they made fun of those people. But it's not a comedy. So it came across as just being insulting to the very groups of individuals that they were trying to target. Yet at the same time, it's not technically a comedy, and it still throws diversity in your face so that it is a central theme. So we're going to be talking about that and just the abysmal user scores that it's got. So welcome everyone. I hope that your evening is going well. Welcome to the live stream. We will get started with topics in just a minute. But how's everyone doing? Can they/them be any worse than One Up? One Up was a disaster of a movie. It really was. I haven't seen they/them yet, but it also seems like a disaster of a movie. So I can't fully judge it yet. I am going to watch it because I'm going to talk about it in a video tomorrow. But it looks like a giant fucking yikes to me. Yeah, it's a horror movie that it's like they didn't know what direction they were going in. So the marketing also didn't really know what direction that they were going in. It's like they tried to market it to everyone, like, oh, everyone can find something in this film. Yet it just came across so fucking poorly that even the people they made the movie for absolutely hate it and are roasting it. Everybody on social media is calling it out, saying this is just an awful film. So I obviously think it's very funny that this has happened. This is what you get for, you know, not marketing things properly and simply not making a good movie. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And it definitely seems like they did that with this film. Which is yeah. The horror of pronouns. It seems like they made fun of, yeah, pronouns, sexuality, all these different things. But they also wanted them to be the highlight of the story. So it's like they made fun of the very thing they wanted to draw people in with, which to me, right off the bat, as a consumer, doesn't sound like a very smart idea. But apparently, a couple of people thought that, wow, this is going to go really, really well. They/them should have been a satire. Oh, yeah. If they had went one specific direction, I think that it could have worked. If they went in the super satire comedy direction, I think that it would have done well. And maybe if they even went in the other direction, it also would have gotten a lot of backlash, but at least they would have had specific people to market it to that would have enjoyed it. At least they would have had a targeted audience, but they didn't do that. I don't know who decided to do this with this film, but they deserve to be fired. I think, yeah, they should have made it like a comedy. I think that it probably would have came across much better than it does at this point, but they decided to do this. They decided to make a movie with comedic elements that also had serious elements. It's very bizarre. It is very confusing as someone who's just looking at it going, I need to read descriptions. What's this film going to be? That's why I'm going to lose my last brain cell later and watch it. But yeah. So how are you all doing tonight? I hope that you guys are doing good. We'll get started in a second with the topics. Also, at the end of stream, we're going to be briefly talking about FanExpo Boston, because that is this weekend. My streaming schedule will be a little bit different, because I am going to FanExpo Boston. So yeah, we'll talk about that at the end of the stream, though. The horror movie should have been about Twitter. Easy horror material right there. Twitter is fucking so scary. I hate Twitter. Twitter sucks. But I still use it. Because I have to, basically. I mean, I've got 8,000 followers on Twitter. So it's still a useful tool as a content creator, but Twitter sucks. Twitter absolutely sucks. Is it true that Ezra Miller finally got stopped? No. We are going to be talking about Ezra. He has been charged. He's still on the run. So yeah, Twitter is a horror show. Actually true, though. Are you gonna watch that Winnie the Pooh horror movie when it comes out? Yes. Yes, I will. I don't know when it comes out, but I am going to be watching it when it finally does. Varadark journalist. Actually me, though. I'm a journalist now, guys. That's me. Welcome to the journalist live stream. Okay, so let's get on with the first topic of the evening, which is going to be Guilty Gear Strive. This is a game that I've talked about a few times on the channel because they've gone, I feel as though it's gone very back and forth. We've heard of potential censorship. We've heard of them wanting to appeal to their audiences and make fan service content. This is a game that I think a lot of people have really enjoyed, and they're still very excited for new content in it. Again, I've talked about it quite a few times on the channel at this point, but with the newest character release, there has been an insane amount of backlash on social media for the past, I believe it was announced 2 days ago, the character was announced, because they are adding Bridget to the game, but they are not adding Bridget in a way that a lot of people agree with, because they have decided to sloppily rewrite Bridget as a woman, even in the Japanese version of the game. So this is a Sankaku Complex article. Guys, please put a preemptive F in chat because this is Sankaku Complex. I love using Sankaku Complex in videos because if a NSFW ad pops up on my screen, I can just edit it out of the video, but we are on a live stream, so let's pray because yeah, let's just pray. Let's all pray for a moment. So it says more and more instances of Japan kowtowing to gender propaganda and corrupt Western ideology have been appearing as the latest DLC release for Guilty Gear Strive. The beloved trap Bridget has him claiming himself to be a girl later on in his campaign, even though he was born a male, which is sadly even present in the Japanese version of the game. Now, if you don't know much about this character, oh yeah, I could definitely see you looking at this character going, oh, it's a female character. I definitely could see people making that mistake. But that's the whole point of this character is Bridget has longer flowy hair. Bridget even has the male gender symbol on his gear. Even though he dresses like a female, it is still a male character. But of course, they have decided to rewrite this character. It says the official website for Guilty Gear Strive had a summary of Bridget's story, which had him being forcibly raised as a girl due to a superstition that male twins would bring misfortune. It says the Japanese version of the website specifically calls Bridget, whereas the English version of the website refrains from using any pronouns whatsoever in typical corrupt Western style. So they didn't completely swap this character's gender. They're just being very, I don't know, we'll say careful, because they're carefully basically beating around the bush. They're of course trying to not use gender terms to make you kind of do a double take and kind of question what's going on with this character, which is something we have seen in a lot of Western games over the years. Yes, this character is a trap. In arcade mode, an early scene had Bridget correcting someone who called him a female, saying that he is actually a man, and this was said even in the Japanese version of the game. And a later scene has Bridget claiming he has been faking being a boy, and that he is actually a girl, and this was said in the Japanese version as well. Of course, as it says, Bridget was forcibly raised to be a girl even though he was born male, and all his life he despised this until Guilty Gear Strive, whereas instead his character does a complete U-turn and decides to accept being a girl, even though he doesn't have female genitalia and thus is still technically a man. Now, of course, this has caused a lot of people to be upset, because whenever you have an established character, you don't want them to be taken and twisted around for the sake of companies being able to say, look at us, you know, we're diverse and inclusive, we're changing this character. It seems very forced, and this is a character that has, again, had a very specific gender in the previous iterations of the character that we have seen. And now they're not being as specific. They're not using as many gender terms. They're changing the gender terms. We're seeing a change in the story to where this character just accepts being a girl. It says instead of merely accepting being a feminine male or a trap, the developers had him outright claiming to be female, which is some theorizing this was done to earn virtue signaling points from the worst types of people. I obviously have talked about situations like this many times in the past. The developers do want Western social points, thinking that this is going to gain them a giant new audience, and that, oh my gosh, wow, look, we can potentially tap in to this very untapped market, even though those people will still not show up to purchase this game because of this one character. It's like these developers think that if they change around one character's backstory or personality, yeah, they might face some backlash for it, but it'll be worth it in the end, even though it is never worth it in the end, because it's still people like most of us here, myself, who would purchase this game, but we would have purchased it 2 years ago, even if, you know, if you hadn't changed this character's kind of backstory around. It's something that, yeah, unfortunately, we do see happen a lot in video games now, and in entertainment in general. Characters get race swapped, they get gender swapped, and again, yes, this character is a, I don't know if I want to call it a character with a complicated story or background, because it's really not that complicated. I mean, this was a character who has always been a male who dressed as a female, and it was as simple as that. But now, of course, in 2022, where you've got all these people going on social media wanting a specific answer as to gender and background, and they want to see what they want in this character, we see this kind of kowtowing happen. It says there are a lot of people, of course, in the West who were unable to comprehend the concept of a feminine male and immediately claimed Bridget was now a transgender female. I think that this is so fucking stupid, because these people cannot keep their stories straight. Their stories straight, right? So you'd think that there would be these types of people would be happy with a character like this and a story like this, because this character does have a rather complex background and a complex history with gender. But of course, because this character is technically a male, they're mad at it. They don't like it. They want it changed. They're still not happy with this character. It says that they immediately claimed Bridget was now a transgender female, even going so far as to vandalize the Wikipedia pages and write up the usual articles. And as you can see, the gender was changed from male to a female. Now, this is not an official site. This is not like something that only the company and the developers can go in and change. Also, I'd like to point out that Bridget shares the same birthday as me. I would also like to confirm I am a female. My gender is female. I would like to clear it up, but my birthday is the same day as Bridget's. And of course, we saw articles going up, Twitter posts going up. Guilty Gear Strive confirms Bridget is a trans woman. Even though these people clearly do not know the background of this character, there are lots of different types of people who are very upset with this. People are saying things like, insane take for a trans person to have I'm sorry. And somebody said the whole situation rubs me the wrong way. As a trans girl myself, this is not a threat I dislike more than erasing a character's previous identity for the sake of making them trans. I'm sorry, but like, do you know where trans people come from? Do you have any idea about what being trans actually is? Because you sure don't look so bright on it. So this is a very large controversy going on right now. Because, of course, again, when a character who has a very clear, set-in-stone backstory is being brought into a new game, and then developers are changing their backstory to hopefully make this game and the character appeal to specific groups of users on social media, of course, it's going to cause a lot of backlash and a lot of outrage and a lot of people just being generally upset on social media. So that's all I have to talk about with this topic. I am going to watch as it evolves and potentially do a video on it, but that's all I really had to say with it right now. Of course, they're sloppily rewriting Bridget as a woman just to appeal to specific people on social media. Thank you, Clint, for the $2 super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you for your courageous gender reveal. I'd like everyone to clap for me in chat because I'm honestly so proud of myself, and I'm so glad that you are too. Thanks. Vera, female confirmed. Poggers. I am a female confirmed. So yeah, let me scroll up a little bit. Let me read the chats and see what everyone's thoughts are on this. Again, you know, if you have an opinion that is different than mine, that's okay. I think that it's fucking absurd that they're changing the character's backstory around just to please people on social media. I really don't think it's that big of a deal, but it is what it is. Thank you all for your claps. I am so brave and so stunning. Yes, I know. Thank you, chat. I am actually so brave and so stunning. Yep, that's me, stunning and brave. I'm the next G4 TV host. Congrats. I know it must have been hard for you. Jesus Christ, the joke is going too far. Vera is a crazy cat lady. I am actually... Oh! I brought Bilbo to the vet for the first time today. He's a healthy boy. That's fun. Speaking of cats. Bridget only says he's a girl if you do bad in the arcade mode. If you do a flawless run, he doesn't say he's a girl, but considering the lore, it has some bad implications. The whole thing is a mess. Yeah, that's the #1 problem right now, is that you've got so many different things being said, no clear clarifications, and now everything is just a clusterfuck. Everyone is arguing about it, everyone is fighting about it, and I understand why. It should be very clear when a character releases, hey, this is the character's backstory. It's as simple as that, or it should be as simple as that. Vera has the Frost G4 speech now. Should I get my G4 speech ready? I can read some to you guys early. it's just a shame that the whole situation became such a clusterfuck so quickly. I just wish that it was more kind of cut and dry. It was not a clusterfuck, but, you know, that's what happens when, you know, you're trying to release a character whose gender isn't copy and pasted in easy for people on social media to understand. So, I mean, it was pretty obvious to see that, you know, Bridget, there would be something wrong with Bridget, right? You'd have the people on social media, the, you know, the woke mob being mad that this is still a male character, or of course you'd have the developers actually changing the backstory so that those people wouldn't be mad, in turn outraging people like us who just want the character to be accurate to who they always were. It's never that simple. Unfortunately, chat, we are going to be talking about another sad situation that has to do with censorship for a new game that is releasing. Another Western English release censored. Vera drink G Fuel. I've never had G Fuel. Maybe one day. But I have not objectification mode activated. Unfortunately, there's less objectification mode now, which is very sad. It's very sad. Alright, chat. So, another Sankaku Complex article. Tower of Fantasy censors anything even remotely sexy. Damn. It's a really sad day, huh? We have a lot of sad stuff to talk about, huh? So, yet more Western English releases of games are being censored as Tower of Fantasy is the next target, the developers forcibly altering the attire of female characters to hide their cleavage or putting them in different outfits entirely, even though the original outfit was hardly that sexy to begin with. As a woman, I truly do not understand why the female form is such a fucking shunned thing now. I just don't understand it, right? There have been women who have always fought for women being able to wear what they want, dress how they wanted, show off the goods that they have. But now we're reverting. Now it's, oh, you have to cover up to be empowered. Oh, you have to do this differently to be empowered. It's so fucking confusing. Holy shit. It says Tower of Fantasy is an MMORPG developed by Hoda Studios, while Level Infinite is in charge of publishing, which of course is part of Tencent Games. And for those not familiar, Tencent is loyal to the values of China and often demands censorship while sometimes monetizing games in the worst possible way. So Twitter users shared screenshots comparing the Western release of the game with the original version. I do not get excited for anime games to release simply because I expect them to be this end product, right? If I looked at a game like this, I would not be like, oh my god, wow, this looks great. When I have the information of Tencent, right? I would not look at this and go, I think it's gonna come out uncensored. I instantly become skeptical and go, okay, I'm not gonna get excited. I'm not gonna pre-order anything. I'm not gonna expect this to be the final product. But of course, as you can see, I unfortunately do not know the names of the characters, so we have to just call them what they are. Busty Lady number 1. Mommy Milkers up here. Gazunga Gazungas, okay? She looks pretty good. She's in a very suggestive pose. Her shirt's a little too tight, but she looks like a pretty good character. And then, of course, nerfed. This is a worse fucking nerf than Widowmaker and Overwatch. Holy, this is sad. This is just sad. This is not acceptable. We even have overalls now? Oh my god. Overalls, that's too far. That is where I will sign petitions and boycott companies. Overalls. No. No, no, no. And then we've got this character. Does anyone want to name her? I'm sure you all can name her. So with this one, her outfit actually wasn't toned down, really. But of course, her chest size has been drastically altered. They really toned down the sliders there. And, well, I like her outfit itself. I think it's pretty cute. Ugh, the overalls. Just, I don't want to talk. I'm sorry. I'm not an overalls gal. That's not it. That's not it. And then you've got this character, Mysterious Wanderer. As you can see, she had a little bit of like a mesh overlay on her chest piece to cover up some of her cleavage. And then they decided to up the opacity. Now you can't see any kind of boobage. It's a very sad day for all objectifiers out there. It is a very sad day. It says one costume's in-game icon was rather revealing, yet the actual appearance of it on the character was more covered up. I like this outfit, but I do wish that it was showing more skin, like the icon on the right shows. Clearly, it was just like a shorts, a bra, more of like a fae-looking outfit. I quite like the version that's here, but clearly they just added a bunch of black fabric underneath. It doesn't look terrible. It's still showing a reasonable amount of skin, but it's still not great. And it says the censorship will prove baffling as some outfits that are way more skimpy, yet were left alone. My thing here with a situation like this, right, is that it's so sad to see stuff like this happen. Don't you think? Now, obviously, at the end of the day, people just want to get paid, right? People have families to feed. They have bills to pay. I as a creator, and even though I'm not sitting here creating character models or things like that, I'm still a creator in my own right, because I still do content creation. I could never sit here and willingly censor my content. Never mind if I was creating beautiful art like this. I could never sit here and for years and years and years censor my content like this. You'd think that they would eventually say enough is enough and they would look for other jobs, go to other companies. Again, I know it's not that simple. I know it's easier said than done, right? But there's got to be a point where these developers will eventually say enough is enough. We're not going to work on this project. We're going to go to different companies. We're going to start our own studios so that we can create what we want. And I do think that that is going to happen. Now, I don't think that that's going to happen in the next 2 months or 5 months. I don't think that it's going to happen overnight, but I do genuinely believe that at some point here, we are going to see more developers come out and basically say, fuck these larger companies, we're going to make what we want, and we're going to see things in the gaming industry change. Obviously, I want that to happen. I hope that happens, and I do think that it will to a certain extent, but this is just another very, very sad, unfortunate, disgusting case of censorship. I haven't seen all of the costumes in the game. I have heard that there are still more revealing ones, like this top one, right? You've got this character in this blue outfit. Her outfit wasn't really censored because you can still see side boob, you can still see cleavage. It's just her chest size that was drastically changed. I have heard that there are still very revealing outfits in this game, but I don't really have any images to show. I don't have any comments to make on them just because these are the only ones I see. But F in chat for Mommy Milkers Gazunga 3000s over here. Please put a F in chat. There are almost 100 people in here. Please put an F in chat for both of them. This is a loss. This is a cultural L. We have lost the battle today. So yeah. Quit. You can't quit. You're fired. It's funny, but it's not funny. All women must be planks. It's so sad as a woman to see women in video games and entertainment be fucking toned down. It is just so depressing. They say they do it for women, yet as a woman, I feel so fucking insulted. There will not be a Varaverse for quite some time. One day, if the Varaverse ever happens, we will have lots of mommy milkers. Do not worry, I promise. Two seconds, guys. Oh, did you all see the Forspoken tweet thread that's going around? Basically, the game Forspoken is coming out soon. I don't know when exactly. And, oh, January. Who gives a fuck? And, people have been absolutely roasting the game's newest trailer on Twitter. I think it's pretty funny. All hail the Varaverse mommy milkers. Yep, one day if the Varaverse ever exists, there will be lots of mommy milkers. Can we move to the next topic before I get banned by YouTube? Also, chat, if you're enjoying the live stream, make sure to give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Check out links in the description and the pinned comment. Donate, become a member, donate memberships. I appreciate all of the support. Thank you for being here. Chat. Now, whenever we talk about Ezra Miller, it's just a fantastic time. It really is. It is just truly just an amazing, wonderful time. Susan wasn't happy with the Varaverse, tried to censor it. Susan will definitely try to censor this image right here. It's just so sad to see so many games released that have potential and see such just bland ass content. Character models, outfits, storylines, everything is so just bland in a lot of games. It's like a title like this, right? It's an MMORPG. I fucking love MMOs. It's got cute anime girls, right? It sounds like a great combination. And then, of course, they reel you in, making you think that you're actually going to get what's in these images. They get you to sign up on their websites and get on, you know, one of the mailing lists. And then the pre-orders come out. They show you these same images. You think you're actually going to get this content. And then the title comes out and it's basically just a giant middle finger to you because you've already spent your money. And then you find out, oh shit, it's actually toned down. It's so disgusting. I hate censorship with a burning passion, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the overalls more than the other one, to be honest. It's, you know, it's whatever your preference is. You know, you're allowed to like the overalls more. I don't like it because I just don't think it looks as good, but it's censorship. If that was the only case of like a censorship-esque situation, I could see a lot of people blowing it off, saying it's not that important, but we can't continuously do that. or else we continue to see toned down content. Thank you, 40, for the $25 donation. Much appreciated. Because they like to take away the good things in life from us. I know. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, chat. I wish we could go back in time. This is, blame Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller is fucking up the timeline right now. Maybe this is all Ezra's fault. Now that I've thought about it. Should have a cultured stream these days, Vera? What do you mean a cultured stream? I've literally played on stream fucking 7 Pirates H with a booby trading simulator. I don't think you can get much more cultured than that. I'm gonna get banned from this damn platform. Okay? I'm gonna get banned if I played anything more cultured. Also, thank you, Drunk3PO, for the $5 super chat. I get to hang out with Vera on Saturday. Be jealous, everyone. True, I will be at FanExpo Boston. And, well, now, whoa, wait. You're saying hang out, right? Drunk3PO is gonna come up to me, he's gonna take a picture with me, and then he's gonna say, "You're a giant fucking loser. I don't want your hentai bullshit near me," and then he's gonna walk away. But he got the picture. So, who am I? It's a woman's word against a man's word, right? The men always win, right? That's what social media's taught me. Okay, I'm done. Thank you, though. Also, hope your night is going well. Oh, guys, we have to talk about FanExpo Boston at the end because I'm so sad. I was trying to get some interviews because when I got a media pass and they told me I could interview people. And then they told me no one's doing interviews this year. So we get the short end of the stick. I was going to interview people and then they said, no, we're not doing interviews this year. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean you're not doing interviews? What? We get not as much content as we thought we were going to get, chat. But that's okay. I'm still going to do a live stream from the event. And, yeah. Uh-oh, chat. Yes, Drunk3PO will be with Gina Carano, so I may get a chance to quickly meet her. We'll see, though. May the odds be ever in my favor. Can you interview Kevin Smith? You guys have been bullying me on this fucking Kevin Smith shit. I'm not spending $100 on this little bitch's autograph. I'm not spending $100 to take a picture with this little weasel. Okay? I'm not talking to him. I'm not interviewing him. I know you guys think it's funny. I am not interacting with Kevin Smith, no matter how many times you donate, no matter how many times you ask. I'm staying away from Kevin Smith, okay? I think it'd be funny too. Vera's scared of Kevin Smith. I would... You know what? I'm not gonna say anything. Next week, on Tuesday, ask me about Kevin Smith again. I'll have a different answer, okay? A different answer. Okay, chat. Next, we're moving on to Ezra Miller. How is he still doing this? Ezra freaking Miller. Every time I talk about this son of a gun, okay, I think that's it. There's no way that it's gonna get worse. There's no way that there could be any more accusations made against him that could be worse than the last time. And every single time we talk about maybe this will be the tipping point of the iceberg, the tip that sank the Titanic. This is going to be it. Warner Brothers is done with him. Hollywood's done with him. Ezra Miller will have to murder someone in order to get kicked out of the industry. Ezra Miller would have to murder someone for anything to change with Ezra. Ezra is clearly Warner Brothers and Hollywood's golden boy because the Flash star, Ezra Miller, has... Now, if Ezra Miller was ever at a convention, I would pay $100 to get a picture with Ezra Miller. Just so in 20 years I could say, I stood next to him and I didn't cry. The Flash star Ezra Miller charged with felony burglary. How does it continue? How does this keep going? The Flash star Ezra Miller is once again in trouble as he has been charged in Vermont, 2 states away from me. Great. And she was. Oh, wow, this is very fun. With felony burglary and issued a citation to appear in court. The Vermont State Police released the following police report where he is accused on May 1st of taking several bottles of alcohol from within the residence while the homeowners were not present. As a result of an investigation that included surveillance videos and statements, probable cause was found to charge Ezra Miller with the offense of felony burglary into an unoccupied dwelling. This wasn't on my Ezra Miller bingo card. I think it's time we start one. We really do need a bingo card at this point. What does everyone think Ezra Miller is going to do next? What do you guys think that Ezra's gonna do next? Because this is not the end of the line, I can tell. Scrolling down, it says, it's just a summary of the incident, and it says, Ezra Miller controversy continues. I don't think that it's going to stop. It's not, listen, it's not funny that he is terrorizing people. But it is kind of funny, in a way, a very fucked up way. This guy is out here playing Grand Theft Auto 6 in real life. I don't get it. Also, Chaos, thank you for becoming a member for 3 months. 3-month memberships hype. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. As noted by Variety, this latest problem follows a report by Rolling Stones, whereas Ezra Miller is said to have been housing a 25-year-old mother and her 3 children in his Stanford, Vermont home, where it said the property doubles as an unlicensed cannabis farm and has several firearms on the premises, with it claimed the 1-year-old child was found with a loose bullet in their mouth. I read this and it sounds like just a joke. This does not sound real. It just doesn't. A recent report by Business Insider also claims while Ezra Miller was in Iceland filming Fantastic Beasts 3, where he choked a woman, that Miller created some sort of cult. I'm sorry. Also, that he travels the U.S. wearing body armor and grooms children. Guys, this is too far. He's going around the U.S. wearing body armor? My goodness. It says, regarding the future of the Flash movie, recently saw Warner Brothers Discovery CEO give the flick high remarks in an investor's call. So as of now, the Flash is still on track to be released on June 23rd, 2023, and there's even talk that they're going to delay it even further. There's talk right now about them delaying it until the end of 2023. That would make 9 whole delays for this film. I don't think that this film is going to do good. I don't think it matters if it comes out now, in a year, in 2 years. I think that Ezra Miller has totally, completely, and utterly obliterated any sort of image that he has in Hollywood, and people are not going to see it no matter when it comes out. I wouldn't want to monetarily support a film that Ezra Miller is in, especially where he is the lead actor in it. It is just so absurd, especially where they continue to defend him and work with him. And you know, okay, I'd like to put this out there. I always say this when I talk about Ezra Miller. It clearly sounds like Ezra has some very deep issues. Very clearly, it seems like Ezra Miller has a lot of potential mental health issues, and I am usually someone who is all for giving people multiple chances and giving them a chance to get help. It truly sounds like Ezra Miller needs help, but the problem is that Ezra Miller does not want help. So there comes a point where it's like, I wish that this person would get help because they very clearly need it, but also at the same time, if they don't want it, I can't just be like, oh, let's just brush off everything that they've done. Especially when we're talking about very, very serious accusations here. And if we go on to social media. I found this tweet, and I thought that this was truly great. I laughed at this for a solid 20 minutes. Ezra Miller respawns in random locations to attack locals like it's Call of Duty multiplayer. This is too good. Ay. This did not age well. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO explained why he killed the Batgirl movie. Our job is to protect the DC brand, and that's what we're going to do. The Flash movie starring Ezra Miller is still a go despite the actor's numerous scandals this year. Guys, isn't that crazy? We're not even talking about just the scandals that have happened in the past either. All of these scandals have happened in the past year. That sounds nutty to me. That sounds absolutely nutty. Like, there is no way that someone can wreak this much havoc in the span of a year. Reading a headline that starts with the words Ezra Miller, whenever that happens, instant chills. Followed by the most bone-chilling villainous combination of words ever imaginable by mankind. It's so true. It's never like something Ezra Miller, you know, was in this movie that sold well. Ezra Miller is starring in this next movie. It's always Ezra Miller is the ultimate villain that we've seen. I'm sorry, this is too good. 0 days since last Ezra Miller incident. Yeah, I don't think that Ezra Miller can be redeemed at this point. I'm all for redemption. I'm all for giving people multiple chances. But I think that Ezra Miller is far past that point. I don't think that there's a way back from this for Ezra Miller. I just don't see a way. How's that movie you didn't cancel coming along? Warner Brothers Discovery. The Menace of Hawaii has moved on to Vermont. That's spooky. Collecting charges. I can't even say it. Collecting charges across 50 states like it's the Infinity Stones. This is a very unfortunate situation. But this is my type of humor. This is the humor that I like. I don't think that it can get any worse. Ah, shit, here we go again. I don't think that it can get any worse unless Ezra literally murders somebody. We are seeing a real villain arc go on with Ezra right now. How can Warner Brothers release this movie? I understand that they've shoved hundreds of millions of dollars into this film at this point. There is no way in this universe, the next universe, maybe they're giving Ezra Miller a copy of The Flash on a fucking drive to bring to other universes, but any universes we know of, this movie is not gonna sell. This movie it's dead on arrival. But are they a criminal? They haven't been charged once. Well, they have now. This bitch a criminal? Another day, another story about Ezra Miller's cross-country crime spree. I just don't get it. How can someone be this much of a menace? And everyone still praise him. Right? That's the thing. Is we're talking about someone who Hollywood still actively defends. This is someone who people in Hollywood still don't think that there's a problem with. Yeah, I don't know, chat. Why can't you be normal? I don't have much else to say about this situation, but Ezra is still going. Ezra is still going, and there's no news about a potential stop. So be careful out there. This world is a scary place, especially because Ezra Miller is still on the loose. Either cancel this movie or just fire Ezra and replace him with Grant Gustin. I don't think that they could even do that. There have been so many hundreds of millions of dollars shoved into this film. There's no way that they could just edit someone in Ezra's place. It would be so much more money to contract someone, to film, outfit. There's no shot. I think that they should probably just cancel this movie at this rate. But it's still greenlit. It's still happening, chat. So yeah. Next, guys, we're going to briefly talk about The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, and the newest trailer that has gone up. People are talking about on social media. Look at that. No messages. I'm just a sad person over here, looking at my nerd stuff. They defend Amber. Yeah, they defend anyone they can that they think is going to be profitable. I don't know how they think Ezra is still going to be profitable, or someone like Amber, but they do. Ezra Miller is a serial criminal coming to a state near you. He's literally a state near me. He's 2 states away. I'm getting spooked now. So yeah. This was a new Rings of Power trailer that was put up today. It's only 30 seconds long, so I guess it's another kind of teaser. But Prime Video and, of course, the Lord of the Rings on Prime account, aka the Rings of Power account, decided to put this up today. And of course, after this went up, a lot of people have been talking about it and are very just disappointed in the product that we're seeing. I mean, if we go on over to like YouTube, I mean, this was the full trailer we got at San Diego Comic-Con a couple of weeks back. It is currently sitting at 79,000 likes. It can't even break 100K. And it is at 323,000 dislikes. I am going to, in the next couple of days, maybe the next week or week and a half, I'm going to put up a video going through all of the numbers for the YouTube trailers. But at this point, there has to be like 3 to 4 million dislikes across all of the Rings of Power official trailers we've seen. And there's got to be maybe like 1 million likes, if that. If that. Because you have to consider, the one that came out back in February had like 200,000, no, it had 150 to 200,000 likes to 1.6 million dislikes. Never mind the million dislikes that magically disappeared. Vera hears a knock at her door. If I hear a knock at my door, I'm going to cry. Literally. He's in Boston. He better not be. He better not be. So yeah, this is the trailer. I'm not going to play it with audio because the last time I did that, Amazon decided to take down the stream. But of course, there's a lot of people sharing some images saying this looks good, that looks good. I agree that this trailer looks a little kind of bit better. The problem is that when all of them look so bad, it's hard to say this looks good, because it still doesn't look great. This one seems a tiny bit better than the previous trailers. Some of the imagery, like, this is really good. Like this right here, this doesn't look bad. Like, this shot into this shot, like, it doesn't look as bad as the others. But again, it's hard because we're talking thousands of years of story here. You don't know when anything is taking place. So yeah. Hey, I'm a super casual fan and got a question. I always was under the impression that Sauron's only return was in the main trilogy, and someone does clear that up, that, you know, he was a servant of Morgoth, and then he fled to Middle-earth, and now he's here, which we get the Eminem, Sauron. And there are still people saying that's not Sauron, that's a different character. I wanted to believe that at first too, but the problem is that all of these media outlets that have gotten, you know, inside scoops have said that it's Sauron. So I'm not going to go against their word. If they're saying that's the case, then I have nothing else to go off of. Also, theater, it's too spooky for me. There are, you know, people here who are happy with this trailer, and there are some people here who are excited about the Rings of Power still. Obviously, I'm gonna judge it when it comes out, but even if you go back to this video, you know, 400,000 dislikes, lots of people joking around, absolutely memeing on this show, memeing on the material that we've seen so far. Since we're getting closer to the release, and I haven't asked you guys in a little bit, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this show? 1 being not excited at all, you're not even going to watch it, to a 10 where you're very excited, you're very hopeful, you think it's going to be great. Get to the choppa. Tolkien nailed it, man. Timeless one-liner, never gets old. People just absolutely fucking wrecking these trailers. I think it's hilarious. The parts where Sauron says to Captain America, hello there, and Galadriel saying to Geralt of Rivia, begun the Clone War has sent shivers down my spine. People are so fucking stupid, but it's so funny. You're just shoving a bunch of shit together. I was stunned at how brave Amazon was to remain accurate to the lore and include previously underrepresented characters like Stuart Little to their adaptation of Tolkien. Breathtaking. -5, 0, 0, 1, -10, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. Lots of zeros, lots of ones, lots of negatives. I'd say right now I'm at a 3. Right? I'm going to watch it so that I can review it for you guys. I'm not feeling hopeful. I'm not feeling excited. I'm not impressed by any of the material I've seen so far. I think it's going to be mediocre, but only time will tell. Next chat, we're going to be talking about they/them, and then we're going to move into, well, this is technically the final topic, because at the end we're going to talk about FanExpo Boston for a few minutes. I hope YouTubers, including Vera, make lots of money from clowning Rings of Power. I mean, I've seen a lot of channels that have done great because of Rings of Power, which is awesome. I mean, even our channel has done, you know, relatively well in regards to the Rings of Power content, which is awesome, but obviously it's not the only content that I put up, no matter how good it does. They/them, yes, chat. Now it is time to move into they/them. Really quickly, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Consider donating, become a member, donate memberships to other community members, thank you for being here. I do really appreciate all of the support. 29 critic, 15 audience. That's what we're working with. So, chat, this is a brand new movie that came out only a couple of days ago. Full context, I have not seen this film yet. I am going to be watching it tonight after the live stream, losing my last brain cell. I'm not feeling very excited. But They/Them has come out. This is a horror mystery thriller film that focuses on an inclusive premise, diversity, representation, yet it also makes a lot of jokes about the very things that it highlights. So, it is currently sitting at and I am going to do a full video on this tomorrow, but it is currently sitting at a 29% audience and a 29% critic and a 15% audience. Now, this film has managed to piss everybody off. It has pissed off the woke crowd who would love inclusive premise and who would love a film where they're actually representing all kinds of people, and the only thing that this film would have is diversity, inclusivity. And like I always say, I love giving things a chance. I'm perfectly fine with diversity and inclusivity. Not every single person on a screen has to be a white cis man, as social media likes to point out. But I think that you can't just go, wow, this character's a lesbian, and expect me to swipe my credit card to watch it. That's great. Good for this character. But what about their story? And this is a movie that, again, failed to interest anyone and really managed to piss everybody off. Piss the wokies off. It pissed the anti-SJWs, like we are the anti-woke morons, as some have called us in our own chat before. So, going on over to the audience score. Again, it is only a couple of days old. It's only been out for a couple of days, but you can clearly tell how this is going. Half star. Twitter the movie. That's generous. I feel personally attacked with this next comment. You have to be stupid to watch this. Oh. Well, guys, I guess I'm not watching this movie tonight. I'm not stupid. The story and acting is not very good. I would rather watch something that had all green-eyed people under 5 feet tall. Thank you, Chaos Killer, for the $5 super chat. We need to see a reaction to the Rings of Power TV series. When the Rings of Power comes out, I will be watching it weekly and reviewing it. But thank you for the dono. Oh, Kevin, I'm so sorry. What were you smoking when you agreed to this? Only bad. Even a Kevin Bacon doesn't help anyone. The acting was worse than the writing, which was worse than the premise, which was already a pretty bad one. They/Them is a dull and pointless slasher flick that does nothing with its potential premise. The first 5 minutes of the movie was promising, but then went downhill. Motherfucker, you are really judging a movie saying first 5 minutes was promising? I don't watch a movie ever and go, 5 minutes in, it seemed like it was promising. Even if the movie is great and I end up loving it. I never do that. Because 5 minutes into the movie is nothing. No suspense and no kills for a while. I was bored out of my mind from 5 minutes to finish. Well, at least he enjoyed the first 5 minutes. Maybe that was the half star. This was cringy and damaging more than horror than this was categorized as. Not even worth the thought of watching. This shouldn't even be classified as a horror movie. The killer was an afterthought. One of the worst movies I have ever seen. I kept waiting for it to be scary or even interesting. It never did. Yeah, 5 minutes and it's just the credits. But you know what? If he wants to judge the credits, he's allowed to. Witty title. Yeah, I think that they slash them is a kind of witty title. We know Vera loves Ghostbusters 2016. I do. It was a fantastic movie and I loved it, and I have posters of it in above my bed like a shrine. Love it. A complete and total mess throughout. The tone and setup here is so haphazardly portrayed. It is really tough to get through. How this got advertised as a slasher film is beyond me. It's not funny, emotional, entertaining, or scary. Bad overall, just cashing in on the pronoun game. Kevin Bacon, bad as always. Oh! I don't know if Kevin Bacon has always been bad. I don't know, I kind of like him in a handful of things. I guess really not that many things now that I think about it. Okay, maybe not. Unfortunately, they slash them's creativity ends at its title. Oh my god. What a burn. A 4.5. Oh my god. 3.5 stars. That's, oh my god, that's like, this movie is fucking great. Out of all these half stars, holy, the premise is pretty good. And the cast all work well. But this movie is at its best when it uses the setting of a conversion camp to deliver psychological horror. Sounds like an absolute sleeper movie. Unfortunately, when it goes into slasher mode near the end is where it doesn't work at all. Holy, 3.5 stars. That's great. This is one hell of a misfire. Quite terrible, honestly. The plot is so stupid, and halfway through the movie I stopped to care. Kevin Bacon should turn away projects like this. It's beneath him. Oof. Are there any positive ones? Here's another one. 3.5 stars. Even though the slasher scenes were kind of ridiculous. I thought the characterizations of the campers were on point and inspirational. Wow, this movie did it. It's stunning and brave. One person thought this film was inspirational. Truly amazing. And the idea that anyone would have the right to change another's identity is the horror. That's the horror. That's why this movie's called a horror. Because there's someone who wants to change the identity of the characters. A 5-star! Oh my god, what are these people on? I really enjoyed this movie for what it is. I plan on adding it to my camp horror watch list from now on. Huh? Is that even really a review? What is it? For what it is, what is it then? What's good about it? Was the acting good? Was the music good? Was the story good? Were the characters good? Was the acting good? Was the something good? What was good? You gave it a fucking 5-star. What did it do to deserve that? It's not the worst horror movie. Plus, the film has a decent It's not the worst horror movie, but the film has a decent happy ending, which you don't see in horror often. It was okay, as my rating conveys. I didn't particularly hate this movie. It just wasn't good enough to give any higher, in my opinion. No suspense, no character development. I'm puzzled as to why Kevin Bacon would sign up for this. I don't know, money? Wow, chat. This is really interesting. Let's also go to social media. Again, like I mentioned, there are all sorts of people who are mad at this. The way that they slash them could have been a camp queer horror film that actually fights back against queerphobia while also being a funny, dark comedy horror flick. Like you had a kick-ass title but a shitty movie filled with every ism known to mankind. I actually, again, I do think that the title was pretty clever. They slash them was pretty clever. Even though you already know that it's gonna probably be a trash movie. It's still a clever title. Gay horror movies to watch instead of They/Them. I've tried to finish that They/Them movie about 3 times now. Still haven't finished it, huh? I don't even want to watch it. I don't even want to watch it. What is this? This is from the movie chat. It comes across like they wanted to make it a comedy, but they couldn't find a way to make it a comedy that wouldn't completely piss people off. So they tried to middle ground it and like, well, make it a horror and have serious elements, but also give it some comedy. But all they did was make everyone hate this film. What a cast. Very stunning and brave. Good luck, Vera, on your brain cells. Thanks. Thanks. I hope I have some when I get done with this movie. Ugh. It just sounds so bad. It just... You know, I want to watch it to give it a chance so I can fully, you know, give you all my thoughts on it. It just sounds so bad. Ugh. It's also now one of the lowest rated movies ever on Letterboxd. It's too funny. Look at that. Holy. That is actually pretty fucking hilarious. Well, alright guys. That's all that I really had to talk about with this. Wow. That sounds very fun, chat. It sounds like I'm gonna have a great time with it. Oh, also, quickly, on IMDb, it's sitting at a 3.4 out of 10. Which is... better than I expected it to be. But it's a 3.4 out of 10 right now. So... yeah. I will watch it, maybe. Hopefully, I'll get through it. I don't know. It sounds like complete and utter dog shit. But that's what I had to talk about, guys. We talked about They/Them. We talked about Rings of Power, Ezra Miller, Tower of Fantasy, Guilty Gear Strive, and Bridget. I'm not wrapping up stream yet. I will be ending stream in about 15 or so minutes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Any topics you want me to discuss, feel free to ask. If you're enjoying the stream, give it a like, donate, become a member, all that fun stuff. Links are in the description. But yeah, I know that Drunk 3PO had came in a little while ago and had mentioned it, and we had talked about it for a minute or two. But my streaming schedule for the next couple of days is going to be a little bit messed up because on Thursday, I am going to be streaming Super Bullet Break. It is finally releasing on Thursday. I was lucky enough to get a code from the publisher. So I will be streaming Super Bullet Break on Thursday. And then the weekend stream is going to be a little iffy. It's going to be a little wonky because usually I stream Saturday and Sunday, but I will not be streaming Saturday because this weekend I'm going to Boston FanExpo. That's going on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I am at least going on Saturday, so I'll be streaming Thursday, not streaming Saturday, doing a game stream, I should point out, and then I'll be doing another game stream on Sunday. On Saturday, during the afternoon, I will be doing a stream from Boston FanExpo. I will do a live stream, walking around the events, talking to you guys, showing you guys stuff, and I will also be recording so that I can, you know, maybe put up, you know, like a video on, you know, Patreon or for supporters. But yeah, I will be doing a live stream from the event on Saturday, but it's not going to be long. It's probably maybe going to be like an hour, and then yeah, it's just going to be chatting with you guys and showing off the event. So Saturday will not be a game stream, but it will be like a day kind of shorter stream. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. I am going on Saturday. I do not know how many of you guys are going, but yeah, I will be there. Kevin is waiting for you and Ezra. Awesome. Vera versus Kevin Smith live stream fight. I tried. So when I got a media pass, they had said, oh, you can request interviews basically. And I did. And then they said, oh, we're not doing interviews this year. Why tell me you're doing interviews if you're not doing interviews? Because I was hoping to get a couple of interviews with people. Not with Kevin Smith. But they're not doing interviews this year. So yeah. Kevin Smith. No. Listen. I'm not interacting with Kevin Smith. And if Ezra Miller was there, I think most people would run away. So, yeah. Oh, Ezra Miller. Huh. Ezra Miller would probably punch somebody at an event like that. Ezra would be going off the deep end. Ezra is coming to get you. How about no? How about no? Ezra Miller can stay in fucking Vermont. That's where he is right now, right? Ezra, you feel free to stay in Vermont. There's like 2 people up there. You stay up there, okay? No Amber Heard either. Ezra will be there body slamming people. If Ezra was there, I would confidently say that Ezra would be body slamming people. Yes, if you see Ezra, call 911. I should put that on a t-shirt and wear it at the event. If you see Ezra Miller, call 911. Oh boy. But yeah, I did want to update you guys on that, just because the streaming schedule will be a little bit different. But like I mentioned, I will be streaming Thursday doing games. I will be streaming Sunday doing games. And then on Saturday, you know, maybe I'll do like a short. And then I'll be doing like the live stream from the event. I don't know what time I'm going to be doing the live stream from the event yet. Maybe around like 1 o'clock. Or 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern. I'm not exactly sure, just because it's not like I'm getting there and streaming instantly, but I will be streaming from the event, so make sure to watch out for that. But yeah, if you guys have any last minute questions or topics you'd like me to discuss, feel free to leave them in chat, but I will be wrapping up stream in a minute. I'll pay to see you wear that. That would be pretty fucking funny though. Where do you get your live stream intro / background music from? I will post it in chat. It is a 3-hour mix that is up on YouTube. I just posted it in chat a couple of times. Usually at the beginning of stream, I started it at the beginning. I do go through a few different White Bat audio mixes, but this is typically the one that I use. I really like White Bat audio. He makes some awesome music. And that is what I use. Don't just stream, post short highlights too. Yeah, I'm planning on doing a stream from the event, but I also think I'm going to record some and, you know, just do some like have some other clips. Any updates on Chris Claremont? No, I have not seen any specific Chris Claremont updates. I don't think that he said anything on social media. I haven't seen any articles updating the situation at all, so as of right now, no updates. Let me check his Twitter really quickly to see if check on Twitter to see if there's anything Chris Claremont, but I don't think that there is. Nope, doesn't look like there's any update. Be safe at the expo. Thank you. Thank you. So what happens at the Boston Expo? There's a bunch of celebrities that go. There's a lot of comic book creators and artists and cosplayers. There's vendors. It's basically just, it's kind of like a, you know, like a PAX East. It's just a convention. I know that Drunk 3PO is going and Gina Carano is going, and I will hopefully get a chance to meet both of them while I am there. At least that is the plan right now. I don't know who else is going. I don't know how many other creators are going. I haven't really seen anyone else post about it, but anyone else that's there creator-wise, I will definitely be trying to meet. And of course, if any of you guys are there and you see the live stream and you see me walking around or something, feel free to say hi. But alright guys, with that being said, I am going to wrap up the stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to give it a like, check out links in the description, follow me on social media, Twitter, Minds, BitChute, Odyssey, Getter. Join our Discord server. We're very active there, and I do tag you all when I go live in case YouTube doesn't notify you of the live streams. I will be keeping my eyes out for Ezra Miller. If I see Ezra Miller, I will be contacting the authorities immediately, and I will be hiding in, I will be hiding as far away from Ezra Miller as I can because I don't want to lose my life. But alright guys, check out links in the description. Thank you all so much for being here. Next stream will be on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I hope you all have a fantastic evening, and yeah, I'll see you all in a couple of days. Well, of course, videos tomorrow and Thursday, but next stream will be on Thursday. But yeah, thank you all so much for stopping by, and have a fantastic evening, everyone.